Happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome to the Big T today. My name's Frank Vespi. I'm with the Racing Biz, theracingbiz.com, joined to my left by track announcer par excellence Dave Rodman, also the chairman and CEO of Dog Figs Inc. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Frank. Good morning. A great card yesterday, and I'll tell you, response time poured it on in the stake, the Timonium Distaff. So happy to see Hammy Smith and Men's Grill Racing, very supportive of the Maryland racing scene, get the win.
It was a very impressive effort from response time, and David Hughes, who is Men's Grill, told me that they've got 15 horses. They hadn't won a race since February, so happy to get the money there because they have been, as you said, very supportive, and congrats to them. And Jairon Barbosa, also of note yesterday, handle up 30% here at the Big T year over year.
That's because of the positive ROI on your picks on this show.
I'm just saying. But I'll also say this, for people, I've heard some handicappers say, well, can't get a price at Timonium. Favorites, 0 for 9 yesterday. No favorite won a race yesterday.
1 for 9 opening day?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, favorites are swimming in deep waters here. So maybe we get some prices here today. Dave, we got a 9-race card teed up. We are 58 minutes to the first post. So let's dive right in. We lift the lid here with fillies and mares maiden 5,000 going 6.5 furlongs, and Dave Rodman, we're in the same spot.
Yay. All right, because Super Money is going to be on the chase and chased a good pace last time out of Cora's Choice. Cora's Choice ran a big second here, I thought, Friday.
Yeah, against 10,000
with
company.
A 40 buyer figure in the comeback race off of the maiden score. That Super Money exits there. It was 4 deep on the turn, and it looks like Donovan Houghton's got her in good form right now. So she's going to be a slight choice for me over Aztec Bay, who kind of actually exits the same race. And this is a filly that chased the winner of that race, Cora's Choice, who came off a 41 buyer figure coming into that maiden score on August 13th. The kind of negative, I guess, is 2 back. She was third behind Good Story, who was 0 for 17 coming into the race. But, look at the field here, and she really fits for sure. So Super Money, Aztec Bay exit the same race.
Yeah, and interesting thing about Aztec Bay, the sources run 2 improved races since Mario Saray got her. Interestingly enough, owned by Trenbrook Stables, which is Uriah St. Louis, and he was training the horse, shipped it over to Mario Saray, but still owns it.
What do they call it back in the day? On the cuff? I guess they still do that. I had my first horse at Jefferson Downs. You only pay the guy unless if the horse picks up a check, right?
Okay.
Yeah, one of those deals, deal deals.
Right.
It was probably, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it was legal at the time. It still is.
Yeah. Hey, it's horse racing. All's fair in love in horse racing, right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about this first race here? That's a superstar. We both use a little bit. We both use Destin to Dance a little.
I mean, you did a good second by ahead of Delaware, 2 back behind a horse named She Made Me Blush, who dropped in from a higher level, a maiden higher level to the 62.5 level to win. But her last race against Cora's Choice and the same group left something to be desired. Xavier Perez for John Robb picking up the mount today, and he's been on her before, so maybe he just kind of gets along with her. But she's probably going to be some speed in this spot, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I would guess. I mean, obviously that last one was pretty off color, but switching back to Perez and Xavier knows how to get a horse going out of the gate for sure. Got a little traffic trouble last time, so and kind of not a ton of speed inside and outside, so probably you go and you see how long you go.
All righty. So in agreement in the first. Will it be 2 straight in agreement?
That seems like a lot to ask.
Which could be good for me, judging from your record here at the Big T.
Or perhaps I'm about to go south on you, Dave.
Drum roll, please.
On to the second race, 5,000 beaten claiming fillies. Going a mile, 3 turns here at the Big T. One change in this race. Put Carlos Lopez on the 2-horse Life in Flash. Carlos Lopez up on the 2, and Dave, you go 3-6. I go 6-3, so we're pretty similar once again.
Well,
Go ahead. I'm trying to beat the favorite here. That's going to be the 3-horse Viking Queen. You decided to just live with it. Talk about that.
Yeah, I loved this horse last time out at Laurel on the turf, and she was 11-1, but a good third and a rallying third behind Shasta Star, who's been really, really good form right now. It was first off the claim for Kieran McGee. It's second off the claim for Kieran McGee. He actually had the horse for a race or so way back, a few races back. And Kieran McGee on the verge of career win number 1,000. He has 999 wins coming into today's program, 2 in and 2 live chances. This is one of them. I don't think you're going to get much price. So coming off the sprint on the turf, I saw Kieran in the track kitchen. He thinks that she's going to have a little bit more early speed. She won't be as far back, obviously, she was on the turf. So I don't know. Liked her last time, so I got to stick back with her today. Unfortunately, she won't be 11-1.
Yeah, and this horse ought to win. And you know, clearly the figures are better, has kept better company. All systems appear to be go. I wasn't quite sure what the logic of the drop here is. They pick the horse up for 5, they run it back at a higher level while protecting it. The horse runs well. Clearly it's worth more than $5,000 on the turf, I think, and arguably even on the dirt, although recent form not great, but they put it right back in for 5. Might just be playing the claiming game, and you know, you took a shot.
Scratched a couple of days ago, the 25th of August here at the Big T in favor of this spot. That was a sprint, this is a route.
Right. So anyway, I was just a little squirrely about that because I couldn't quite convince myself that I was comfortable. So I landed on the 6 for the mild upset. Sum is 9 for Mario Saray. Again, Grant Whitaker. This horse in fairly consistent form, not a world beater, but fits with these.
Yeah, Mario Saray looking to get into gear here at the Big T. Had a good meet last, and we'll talk a little bit about a stat for him a little later. I think I got something in the 9th race at Timonium. Overall, yeah, she fits for sure. And you know, maybe she's going to go with that 22 opening quarter Delaware change, 46 sprinting. Maybe she'll go, hoping Viking Queen kind of sits right off of her in the spot. Everybody else just kind of looks a bit plottish to me, right?
Yeah, it should be. You know, we both used a couple of these, and they'll just be sort of trotting around there and hoping an even pace is going to get it done.
Worth mentioning, though, I mean, Emma and I is 2 for 2. She's 2 for 2 at this track, and maybe looking to come back to best form. She's had some better foot in the past over this surface, but in recent times is kind of lagging behind and kind of makes one run at Charlestown, the 2-turn sprints there. But she's a mare that likes this track. She comes back and says, hey, I'm at the Big T. Get out of the way, here I come.
I'm 2 for 2, yeah. Timonium Lover. One note on that horse, too, if people look and say, oh, it's A. Boca Chica, it's Arnaldo, it's not. It's his son, Abnel, who's a 7-pound apprentice aboard. Abnel got his first win fairly recently, has I guess, 5 wins now.
Familiar with the horse. He's been on her before, Charlestown, okay?
Yep. All right, on to race 3. Let's see how we're doing here. It's once again beaten claimers. These are the boys going 6.5 furlongs, and we kind of mix things up a little bit. Dave, you're going to land on Back At Ya. I'm going to be on Minister Quinn.
I just kept going back at you here. More I looked at the race. Third last time out, Delaware behind a horse named First Rule. Thursday, K-Back Delaware ran a 76 buyer figure in a next start, and Back At Ya comes off of a nice 70 buyer number, her best in a while. So that race and the race before that behind Dialing Dixie kind of gave her the bit of the edge in here. 6 Addie's Laddie TNT is coming to come back for her best kick in the stretch form that she had back at Laurel a few races back. She's tried once here at Timonium with a third, so maybe she's a horse that likes this track with Axel Concepcion aboard. Royal Thunder number 4. Used in the mix as well, was a good second off the claim, and actually has an equal figure in my book at Charlestown to back at you's last race. So one's 6-5, one's going to be a better price, Royal Thunder. You went and
When you say your book, are we talking dog figs?
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say it.
You don't want to tip the public off on the dog. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay,
when
just so
I say
we're
my
clear.
book, it's the dog figs. Yeah.
Okay. That's like one of those codes that they have like in the chart comments. Okay.
My figures, as they say. Okay. All right.
Andy Byer, please report to the set.
All right.
Yes, I went with Minister Quinn, and I'll tell you what, this horse may not be good enough. So you're going to, if you're inclined to listen to me here, that's probably your first mistake. But if you are inclined to listen to what I'm saying, you need to get a price on this horse. You need to probably get the morning line or better. 10-1 there. Like I say, horse may not be good enough. Now, that said, this horse is all speed in a race with not a ton of speed.
Yes.
Last time out, it says broke in a tangle, which is true. It did break poorly, but the rest of it was even worse. This horse was steadied repeatedly up the backstretch. Finally, the jock sort of maneuvers between horses, gets outside, makes a little run, is done. Well, not surprising. Broke in a tangle, was steadied probably 5 or 6 times up the backstretch. Just a disastrous trip from beginning to end. If this horse gets back to where he was, I'm going to draw a line through that last race. Gets Barbosa up, hot riding young fella. I think this horse goes straight to the front, and we'll see how long he can go. But he should be controlling it up front, and I think you're going to get a good number on him. So taking a little swing there.
6.5 furlongs.
A half furlong can matter.
The struggle.
It
could
can
be.
matter.
Could be. I mean, when you look at the form, could be. But, maybe if, he's well reserved up front, I'm not going to knock that.
But you got a dog fig, so we got to consider that.
All right.
Okay, on to race 4 is maiden 5,000s, going a half mile. Just got to get out and go in this one. A couple changes here. Take out the 4-horse Royal Air Force. And Xavier Perez going to be on the 2-horse Moe Hennessy for Anthony Ferrier. And Dave, look at us, both on Runaway Road. We are chalk-eating weasels.
Yeah, well, exits a turf race over at Laurel, back to the dirt now. His horses run okay with speed on the dirt, as you can see before, but Press the winner from the inside that day. A horse that was a favorite, I believe, in that spot, a certain made a belated run and came back to win at Presque Isle Downs. And Sir Lance actually came off that upset win in that race to run okay next time out, proved that he really wasn't just a fluke that day. He ran a really solid effort next start after the maiden score on the grass. So those signs pointed me to Runaway Road here. I look at your picks. I'm a little surprised that you got my long shot value play of the day in the mix. Maybe something, maybe nothing. Elusive Image coming off of a +13 dog fig race.
Whoa.
Won by disputed claim.
Oh,
and even though the horse looks like 4 furlongs is really not in his scope, I mean, I've got to use him at a price in this spot.
Yeah, I just, looking, I kind of like horses that, show something. You could kind of reach back a little bit and find a race that wins here.
Mm-hmm.
That race 2 back could win here. Obviously found the going a little difficult next time out, but note that the horse was 40-1 too, so he was in a little bit deeper than he's going to be here. Not going to be 40-1 in this spot, and somebody's got to be in the triple, right?
Somebody. I guess Moe Hennessy, right? With that early speed, you're going to get a lot of play.
Yeah,
people
I would
see him
expect.
right up on the engine there.
I would expect that.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ferrier. Ferrier wins a lot of races at CT, going 4.5. Has X-Man up. X-Man knows how to get a horse out, going 4.5. This is a horse that should show speed. Of course, there is potentially speed to his inside with Mashua coming off the turf. Has shown good speed on the turf. Has not run well in 2 dirt tries, but maybe this time runs a little bit better.
Lots of confetti on the floor from his last 3 starts. Right? I mean, it looked like he had every chance to. It looks like he had every chance to at least finish in the money in all 3 of those tries. And that last 16th of a mile, 8th of a mile, there's really no kick here, and they're putting him in for the nickel. I think kind of a for sale sign is somebody wants a project.
I think that's probably right, but could has the speed potentially to shuffle the deck a little bit.
Shuffle
the
deck
spot.
with Moe Hennessy. Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right, so we're more or less same spot there. Dave, we're pretty similar so far. Let's head to the 5th race. This is a first level allowance, optional 16 claimer, going a mile. Once again, 3 turns. Take out what would have been my top choice here, the 1 youngest of 5, the 3, the 6, both +1, and the 9 horses out, Sagrada Rey. So scratch the 1 and the 9.
And we wind up on the same horse, Under the Radar, who, definitely will not be that. When you look at his form,
pretty much will
you
be
look
the
at
Radar.
barn, you look at the barn, and you look at his past performances. I mean, there are a few reasons I like him. I mean, probably the same ones you do, right? Good Culture came back to win out of his last race. The race 3 back, though, at Laurel.
Fabulous race.
4 winners out of that race.
Not only 4 winners, of the first 8 finishers, 7 of them came back to be 1, 2, 3 next time out. So that race was a very, very good effort.
Brilliant Ice, Rusty's G550, Fine Faith, who scored a tremendous upset against a good field, and something I can't read.
I feel you on that. Yeah, and then these last 2 starts at Parks have been
Baton.
Yeah. Have been pretty good as well. In a little bit of an unusual condition, it's have started for $25,000 and have never won a race other than maiden claiming or starters. So it's sort of like the allowance before the allowance, and so pretty good ref. The only question is the horse been off since April, but Jamie Ness, 22% coming off that kind of layoff. So a lot of positives there, and we both see it. So we must be right?
I guess, yeah. I really think that the better price is going to be the Kozan one, and he can win. He's got more recency to his form.
Yep.
What a brutal beat that was against Smooth Flying Mike and On the Mark. 3-way photo at Laurel in August that I actually thought On the Mark won, but Smooth Flying Mike did get his nose down. I mean, that was a wild finish, and to this day I'm going like, wait a second. But anyway,
how does he not win then?
Yeah, but brutal beat in a 3-way photo with the Kozan one. A repeat of that effort is as good as Under the Radar, and he has recency to his form. Claudio Gonzalez. We were talking about Carlos Gonzalez, jockey at Louisiana Downs yesterday in the press box, and
that'll teach us to talk about anything other than timonium.
Something that happened 30 years ago. Anyway, Claudio
it's
Gonzalez.
As real as if it were yesterday.
Yes.
Wait, Dave, I used Good Afternoon Oscar a little bit. Now, he's only been running against 3-year-olds. This is his first time against older, but he's been running pretty well. That Delaware race, I think, is legitimate. I mean, the winner was Eldest Son. He was 4-5 in there. He's a legitimate racehorse. You don't use Good Afternoon Oscar. Just curious for your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, he was just slightly below in my numbers. That was the reason, really. I mean, I had other ways to go. I just thought maybe using the 8 Krug in there, a horse that seems to be coming around a little bit. For Phil Capuano, maybe it was mud enhanced at Delaware last time out. No mud today of a fast track. But Barbosa gets aboard from a barn that raises him up to next level 16 after a 12-5 win. Maybe he'll like the Big T. Maybe he won't. The old maybe not. He's never been here. Maybe not.
Maybe not. All right, there we are. We're in the same spot there. 6th race. 2nd level allowance, optional claimer, and once again we're in the same spot. 6.5 furlongs for the fillies and mares, and I think we both kind of think all systems are go for Parish Bell, the 3-horse.
Well, all you have to do is look at the numbers, look at the video over the last couple of races, the last 3 races. Is moving to the Nest Barn. She's been off since July 16th. So that's kind of a little bit of a question mark, but she's kind of filly that doesn't really work. They probably just kind of gallop her into shape, pony her into shape, keep her on the farm, get her fit. I don't know what they do really, but whatever it is, it's working for Parish Bell. Not going to be much of a price here. Noble Bid looking to return to best form, and I can see one race after the layoff, the winner of her last race, Self-Isolation, who did not run on the Timonium Distaff yesterday, but had been entered.
Would have probably been the favorite if she had.
That was an above par dog fig race there, a 109-2 over at Laurel. Second back, a positive ROI for Damon Dilladovico. I mean, you're getting maybe 5-6 to 1 on one of them, and even money 7 to 5 on another. And I got a user if you're playing this race. I think. I mean, if you're playing the pick 4, I wouldn't just single Parish Bell.
No, I agree. I mean, I like Noble Bid a little bit as well. She, in that last one, she did duel with the winner. So Self-Isolation went on, Noble Bid did not. But as you mentioned, that was Noble Bid's first in 10 months. So plenty of reason that she might step forward in this second start off the bench.
Canoodle looking to get back into best form, Tim Keefe dropped her in, and Mario Saray claimed her. Hoping to find that diamond in the rough, rejuvenate some of her past form. She's been beaten a couple of times by Noble Bid, but she was second to Noble Bid and 3 lengths clear of another mare back in July of last year. So claimed and facing a nice field today. I think they kind of like her chances at a price with that move.
Yeah, I mean, clearly she's one. One that I did not use. She'll have to step it up a little bit to get there, but she's got some back class to her.
Yeah, Violent Vixen should be part of the pace, I would think, but I mean, she's going to have a tough go trying to chase Parish Bell, the Charlie Baker shipper from Belmont, shipping into the Big T.
We don't get a ton of Belmont shippers here, so.
Happy Face Racing Stable, right? They had that nice filly last year.
Yeah, they have Malibu Moonshine, who won a couple of Maryland-bred races. Yep. All right, on to race 7. This is a starter allowance going a half mile, 4 furlongs here, and this is better. We're in different places. Although I'm on the chalk again. What am I doing here? Go ahead.
Well, it's all right. I mean, here it is. If Kieran McGee doesn't get win 1,000, and earlier in the card, he's got a second chance with Wild Behavior, who has some really, really, really good early speed. But Pit Stop Man has some really, 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 really good early speed. And there's other speed in here, too, I think, with Kitchen Fire, the Kerry Raven horse. Dialing Dixie's been known to be quick.
Yep.
So, I mean, I just went maybe for, I think, the horse that can press Wild Behavior and sustain a little bit, and that's Pit Stop Man, because he exits the race won by Baracho at Laurel on August 20th.
Right.
That kind of put me over the top with him.
Baracho's
I mean, he's been beaten by Wild Behavior before by 3 lengths, but that was then, this is now, and that was going 6, and this is that half-mile dash. I don't think Jerron Barbosa is going to take back and, take in the Ferris Allen wheel when he goes around the far turn. He's going to be aggressive from the word go.
Yeah. No, I think that's exactly right. And it's actually for the reason you just cited, all the pace that appears to be in this race. I threw Grumple Stiltskin, the one horse, in my mix. The 9-year-old's been going 4.5 at CT for quite a while. Jose Montano comes in from CT to ride. He's going to be well off it early, and he's going to come running late and might pick up a piece or two.
The interesting horse to me is the 8-year-old 16-time winner is Kitchen Fire, making his first start at the Big T. He's got good figures on the turf, got good figures on the dirt.
Yeah.
He's consistent no matter which surface you put him on here. Kerry Raven ran a 2-year-old first-time starter the other day.
Just missed.
Yeah, I thought ran big race. So, comes from a solid barn.
And we both used it.
And, I put it on Stable Mail. I think the horse will win next time out.
Dog fig?
No, just observation.
All right, there it is. 5316 for me, 6345 for Dave. 8th race feature, an open allowance, no conditions. Anybody can run in this one.
Oh, no. Look at this. There's no way he's going to pick Back in the Woods. He's going to go dollarization.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you. 614-364-13. Everybody's on Back in the Woods for the crafty Jose Corrales and Angel Cruz in the irons. Dave?
Well, Al loves Josie, breaks in the rail. He's going to have speed. He was in control of a pace in a short field last time out. The lone speed versus 3 others. And in late dollarization was coming. I mean, really coming. So he should like the 6.5 furlongs today. I mean, he looks like really the horse you've got to use somewhere in there. But I went to Back in the Woods. Jose Corrales, first after a 31 to 60-day layoff, 16%. a positive ROI. He beat Holy Synchronicity, a horse who was third in the DeFrancis Dash back in early July. Comes off a little freshing in here. And though I think he's going to be right there behind I Loves Josie in a crucial point in the race.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I love that last effort. I love the fact that he took back a little bit and made a run. He'd been sort of showing speed and fading a little bit previously. Takes back, makes a run, gets up. Cruz rides him that day for the first time on the page. Cruz gets the return mount here. He was the leading rider here at the Big T last year. So I think that's appears to be a good combination. I think the horse projects to get a similar trip. I Loves Josie goes. Likeable probably goes.
Yeah,
he's sitting a couple lengths back.
Keith Hustel, I always respect his opinion. A morning line maker here, Equibase. I know when he first looked at the race, he goes dollarization. I like dollarization. I think he's a cinch. That was a quote.
Okay. Well,
okay. So
let's hope he's wrong.
Anyway, to correct that too, that stat for Corrales, that's in dirt sprints. I had to narrow it down a little bit. A positive ROI dirt sprints, not just overall, with the layoff.
Gotcha.
All right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 6143, 6413. Any other thoughts on this one, Dave?
That's all.
All right.
Folks.
Then, all right, Elmer. We head on to the 9th race, the nightcap. 5 beaten claimers going 6.5 furlongs, 2 turns here. Big T were similar, but not exactly the same. I'm going to go Sir Smoke on top. The 2-horse, you're going to give the nod to Give It a Go.
Give It a Go. Axel Concepcion aboard. Comes off a win at Monmouth. In which Wasabi Boy runner-up and the 3rd-place finisher, Aztec Legend. He also came back to win. If you have an early form, might want to do that. So it's a double key race already. Appears to be in form. And Claudio Gonzalez is 23% at Timonium. So overall.
I got 25%.
25. Well, maybe you did 3 years, 5 years.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe we're
maybe
using
you
slightly
have a statistical aberration.
We did everything just the same, but it just counted different.
All right.
But yeah, he wins all the time. He wins all the time everywhere, and he wins a lot here.
Well, how about, speaking of Saray, here's a stat I was going to tell you. Your top pick, Sir Smoke, coming into the Timonium meet was 6 for 19, 32%, and a positive return on investment, $2.95. So yet to get going, but here's a horse who was buried in the mud, hated the mud, but can run back to a good number and win.
I agree, and I think you're going to get a little price darkened for him because of the last kind of, let's be honest, stinker. But check this out. This horse got to work in between. That race was 2 weeks ago. He got to work in between. So obviously he came out fit. He appears to be raring to go. I think if he runs back to, say, just 2 races back, he's right there.
How about Bowie two-step? It's not raining. If it were raining, I'd definitely use him in a 1-2 spot. I just threw him in the mix there, coming turf to dirt. His best number to me was on the muddy track. Street Lamp comes off a layoff. He certainly figures in the spot on paper, but I have my doubts about 180-plus day layoff. A little bit of a concern in the drop there for Street Lamp.
I was concerned about the drop as well. And
more the layoff for me. You know?
I mean, the layoff is that's the word I was trying to say. I said drop.
Drop and layoff,
I think we both ended up using Supersticio a little bit here. This is a horse that was involved in the pace last time, lost the pace duel, and kind of stopped after that. But plenty of good form. Jorge Hernandez in the irons.
He has to get his mojo back. I've just really not liked his last couple of races at all.
Yeah.
They were definitely going longer at 2 different tracks, one of them in the mud. But even prior to that, since that win back in May, to me, Sir Smoke beat him in a dash at Laurel, going 6 furlongs in early July as well. So, yeah, I mean, turn around to best form, puts him in the mix, but let's give it a go in the last with the 8 for me.
Yeah, and the 2 for me, Sir Smoke for me, 2683 for me, 8236 for Dave Rodman. We are 30 to post. Any last thoughts, Dave Rodman?
No, I think we've covered almost all of it.
All right. Yesterday it was confidence and something else.
Yep.
Watchwords for today.
Watchwords for today is I hope I get a winner.
He's Dave Rodman. I'm Frank Vespi. We're 30 minutes to first post here on Sunday. at the Big T. Stick with us. 15 minutes. We'll be back to handicap the first race. Dave will be upstairs. I'll have a new sidekick. We'll be ready to go. Good luck, everybody.